Phil Berman from Balanced Catamarans. I'm here in Cannes, France at the International Yachting Show, and I'm sitting on one of our current Balanced 442s. As probably many of you have heard, we've launching a new model called the 502, which will be coming out. The first boats will start to come out at the end of 2025. But we've also now doing a new boat called the 464. And the first 464s will start to come out in 2026. So we've been really busy at Balance the last 14 months working on these projects. The tooling is underway. It's all new tooling on the boats. And essentially what we've done is we've taken customer feedback. We've been innovating on the boats from day one. And so many of the innovations that we've added to the 526 and then later to the 482 and then later to the 442, we're now taking the composite collective knowledge that we've gained from sailing these boats thousands of miles and tweaking and improving and tooling all new models. So I'd like to tell you a bit here just about the new 464. Big reasons for actually doing a new model, doing the new 464 as we're also doing the new 502, is that we've been getting a lot of requests from people to have a hybrid, hybrid catamaran, a diesel electric catamaran. We researched the market for years and we couldn't really find a product that we really liked. It was really important to us that we could use Yanmar engines. It was important to us that we could continue to use sail drives. It was important to us that our engines could be in watertight engine bays outside of the living spaces. And so when Integral began working on this project over 2 years ago, we started discussing it with them and it's been in development. But when they came to us and said, we've got it, we said, great. They've been great partners, good on warranty, good in service, good in support. At the same time, once you start going to these hybrid, propulsion type boats, you end up adding weight into the stern of the boat when you add the electric motor to the back of the diesel motor, and you typically add 1 or 2 extra lithium batteries. So your payload requirements go up on the boats. We've also found that a lot of our consumers want the maximum amount of solar on their boats. And because we've learned that the soft solar panels that you glue down onto the decks don't perform nearly as well as the glass panels, we like to stick with the glass panels on our boats. So payload capacity goes up. People are still putting the same equipment on our smaller boats as they put on our bigger boats to sustain that speed that we want, to get that kind of performance. We needed to not only give her more payload, give her more waterline length, give her more hull fineness, and increase the size of the sail area of the boat to make her just like, the ultimate mid-size performance cruiser. So that was the goal with the Balanced 464. One of the big innovations or new innovations on the boat is what we call the VersaStern door. So in our current catamarans, you've got a wide open stern and you have to put washboards down. And this is true of most catamarans if you have easy access steps on both sides of the boat, which is very, very important for docking. You always want to dock a catamaran stern first. So instead of having washboards put in or draping canvas across to keep water from coming into the boat and offering some protection from people falling off the boat, dogs, animals, kids, whatever, if you're offshore, this new door that we have drops down over the top of the engine room, flush into a cavity. It can be lifted up and attached, and it becomes a solid wall across the back of the boat to offer complete cockpit protection. And we've designed it so if you take a greenie over the bows and water is coming down the boat, water can drain out, but when a wave comes from the other side, water can't come in, okay? So the advantage of that is that you can work on the engine rooms because when the Versa door is in up position, you can lift up your engine hatch even at sea. But also more importantly, when you are wanting that ease of access that is so important for docking the boat, because you always want to dock a catamaran off the stern and be able to get off of a step. Now you just drop the VersaStern door when you're at anchor or when you want to dock the boat, and it's just boom, just like that. So it's a great innovation, and I think, certainly everybody will start copying us as they always seem to do. From a construction standpoint, the biggest change in addition to the all-new tooling of the boat is that we've really upped the carbon content in the boat. Currently, we use carbon in all the high load areas in the beams and in the chain plates on these boats. But now we're adding additions of carbon that we've been using on the 526 to the 464 and the new 502. What's that mean? All the cabin soles are now in carbon. All the bulkheads are in carbon. All the partitions in the cabin soles are in carbon. The daggerboard trunks are carbon, the daggerboards are carbon, and the rudders are carbon. So that, in addition to all the carbon in the high load areas, essentially turns the whole interior frame of a Balance 464 or the new 502 into a carbon frame. This is just a fantastic thing because it lightens the boat a lot. It really stiffens the boat, and so it leads to a faster boat. So in addition to having longer, leaner waterline length, more payload capacity, she's stiffer and even faster for that reason. But like all of our boats, she's not going to be squeaking and creaking and whatever, because every single bulkhead, everything that we do is hand laminated to the actual hull structure, which is an e-glass, foam core e-glass structure. So currently in our 442 and 482, we use a polyester resin on the inner skins of the boat and vinylester resin on the outer skins of the boat. We've elected, now that we're doing the whole frame of the boat in carbon, to go 100% vinylester, both in the interior skins and exterior skins. The vinylester gives us greater strength properties when merged with the carbon, and so now it's a pure vinylester resin structure. We also decided to supercharge the rig on the boat by designing a new longeron and forebeam. The longeron now rests over the top of the forebeam and come down like you'll see on current racing cats. So we've been able to move the forestay of the boat forward 16 to 18 inches, I believe, and we've increased the size of the self-tending blade jib nearly 100 square feet, so that we didn't have to resort to a coach top Genoa, because we love having the self-tending jib. And so this new self-tending jib is going to really boost the performance of the boat to windward and light air. And we've also increased the size of the mainsail a bit. In addition to that, we've been working with Dimension Polyant in Germany and Ullman Sails in Cape Town to improve the RDL fabric that we worked on with Dimension Polyant. We've added additional strength properties, both vertically and horizontally. We've changed the taffeta, so now instead of being kind of a dark gray, the sails are almost a black color. They're really, really sexy looking, but they're also going to have greater longevity and durability and be a really nice balanced performance sail for our catamarans. Due to persistent requests for us to put larger opening windows in the front of our boats, we have sat there at Balance and struggled mightily, because we've sold so many catamarans over the years. I think probably nearly 1,000 at this point. I would lost touch. Every time I sold a used catamaran, there's always water piling up underneath big opening salon windows. And when we look at these big opening windows that some manufacturers are putting, it scares the bejeebers out of us that water would come in and damage the electrics or the lithium batteries that are sitting here under my seat. And because we use glass windows, we don't have a lot of options to just install, off-the-shelf Lexan ports. We really are limited in what we can do, but we're not going to not have glass windows in our boat. So what was our solution? Well, we removed this mullion in the coach top. So now you have a very long window here. We went to Goyo and had them custom build thin framed, very long windows. And now we have 3 very long opening window ports near the top of our salon roof, so that when they're lifted up, they're still under the brow. So you're not going to get water dripping down and kind of pooling up in your boat. We also, above me here, just aft of the electronics and all the batteries, we have a large opening port that will be catching wind and blasting it down in here. We think it's going to really be fantastic in terms of ventilation. As many people know, on the current 442, we already have a really nice ventilation hatch that we put over the top of the bed, the headboard on the boats, so that when the forward hatches open in between the 2 beds, wind comes through that port and allows a lot of airflow in the boat. And of course, you always have the roof hatch. A lot of people, I think, don't realize how much more comfortable it is to be sleeping in forward beds, particularly when you're at anchor, because your boat's turning into the wind and you get this incredible airflow. Aft berths on catamarans, you get a lot less airflow because the curvature of the deck takes you down and you have to use a deck hatch to open it up. It's very difficult to capture a lot of strong airflow when you're at anchor in an aft berth in a catamaran, and that's why we really think that with great ventilation, these forward berths are really fantastic. As on the new 502, we've gone to an Italian design firm specialist to upgrade all the cabinets to what they call frameless Euro-style cabinets. We've redone the salon to make this couch where I'm sitting into more of like a living room space, a little bit more loungy because people tend to be eating outside more than they're eating inside, so that it's a great place to hang out, read a book, watch a movie, but you can still drop our table down and turn the whole salon area where I'm sitting into a bed. We've expanded the nav station and turned it into what could be a really proper office. So this is now a larger desk, and it can either be, you can either have a chair and have it as a nav station slash office, or you can have additional cabinetry underneath if you don't want the chair. But now the whole desktop lifts up, and underneath it there's a charging station so that you can charge all of your electronic equipment on the new 464. We also did that innovation on the new 502. It's really clean looking, new dashboard, just a stylistic improvement and a functionality improvement for that boat. Of course, there's all kinds of innovations that are going on in the boat, which I'm not going to mention, but when you look at the new hull profile of the boat, you'll see that our new window lines are changed a little bit. She still has the beautiful kind of classic balanced look, but we've done recessed indents in the boat and the windows are set in, and it gives the boat a kind of a little racier look. So it's an aesthetic upgrade that we did. Because, after all, once you're going to retool a whole new boat, you might as well just go for it and make a few little tweaks and changes. So we did that. As on the new 502, when we decided to go ahead and retool the whole salon, coach roof, and the hulls, what we did for our solar panels is currently our solar panels sit in a tray and then they're mounted on top of the salon roof. We designed in a cavity recess to set in the new 450 watt glass solar panels. We still raise them in that cavity so that they get airflow underneath them and have the individual regulators that we're known for. But now the solar panels are flush with the top of the coach roof. So it's a prettier, kind of cleaner look on the boats. Of course, the boat has the Versa helm. Of course, we're continuing to use our all glass windows. Of course, we're continuing to do handmade real foam core wood cabinetry that is joined to the boat itself. So you balance this, we call it a squeak-free boat. When you get out of balance and you're sailing, if your boat is creaking, you better give us a call, because that would be very, very surprising to us, because we've never really seen it happen. It's a complaint that people have about mass production catamarans where they have modules and they set the furniture in and the boat moves and it's squeaking and creaking. You shouldn't get that on a balanced catamaran. But all in all, the 464 is a really, really exciting boat. Leaner, lighter, faster, stronger carbon frame, capable of carrying all your payload needs for live aboard voyaging. It's a perfect boat for a couple or a small family to sail around the world. She's robust. All of our balanced catamarans sail up from South Africa. We have them sailing all over the world. We're really proud of what we're doing here. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is to follow our build series video on the 464. We're very transparent at Balance. We'll show you how we build our boats, introduce you to some of the people that build the boats, give you a feel for how these boats come together. And so over the coming months, please feel free to watch. And if you have any questions, please send us comments. We'll try and respond as quickly as possible. And should you be really interested and serious to talking to us, well, you know how to get a hold of us at Balance. You just reach out to us. We're really proud of what we've done at Balance. We're launching boats consistently at any given time. There's 2 of them sailing back from South Africa. They've built an enormously warm community of owners. All around, we're just really thrilled with the boats that we build and the people who build them. I mean, right now between the 2 factories, we've got, I tell you, it's constantly changing, but it's in the 750 employee range, give or take. We've got a really solid core group of people that build our boats. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand, in my opinion, there's 2 great places to build a catamaran in the world. Right here in France and Europe, or right there in South Africa. Why? In South Africa, we have mast makers, sail makers, resin manufacturers, a big marine infrastructure. 14% of South Africa's export is small craft. Boating is a big business in South Africa. And so you have the infrastructure, the facilities, and you have the skill sets of people that have grown up through the trades, that have the leadership and knowledge to build really, really great boats. And that's why when you come onto a balanced catamaran, say here at this Cannes Boat Show, and people look at our boats, they're stunned. In fact, some people say they're shocked at the quality that they see in these boats. the finishes, the woodwork, the cabinetry, the attention to detail that you'll find on a balanced catamaran. And that's because the new 464 essentially will be a 30 to 35,000 labor hour product. A boat that's built in Europe is going to typically take half those labor hours. And this is where we really excel in South Africa. We have the time to invest and the labor to invest in building a really, really quality product. And also, we're all super prideful, I'm afraid, probably too prideful. We really care about what we're doing, and South Africans are really proud of the boats that they build. So please check us out, follow the build, and if you ever need anything from us, just reach out. And until then, stay in balance.